Hello everyone, this is Rekha from Meeting with Friends. Today we are starting a new playlist and a new topic which is facts. Today's video is about the 10 most interesting world facts. Let's go. With around 200 countries and more than 7.8 billion people, plus plants, animals, and other organisms, the world is full of interesting, fun, and fascinating facts. In the land of the Kiwis, for instance, you will find the highest concentration of pet owners on the planet, and over in Nicaragua, you will find only one of the only two flags in the world to feature the color purple. Hungry for more facts about the world and its ever growing population? Read on to learn some interesting trivia about the Earth's past, present, and future. First fact: glaciers and ice sheets hold about 69% of the world's fresh water. Just over 96% of the total amount of the world's water is held in its oceans, according to Water and Crisis, are good to the world's freshwater resources. We are the United States Geological Survey (USGS). However, that's primarily salt water. To find the bulk of the world's freshwater, you need to trek to the poles, as 68.7% of it is encased in ice caps, permanent snow, and glaciers. Second fact: the fastest gust of wind ever recorded on Earth was 253 miles per hour. Hang on to your hats because this isn't your average windstorm. In 1996, a tropical cyclone named Olivia hit off the coast of Boru Island, Australia, with such a force that it broke an incredible record. According to the according to the Weather Channel, Olivia's eye wall produced five extreme 3-second wind gusts, the peak of which was 253 mph gust, which blew past the previous wind record of 231 set in Mount Washington, New Hampshire back in 1934. The best place in the world to see rainbows is in Hawaii. If you are an avid rainbow gazer and want to get your fill of the beautiful phenomenon, look no further than the state of Hawaii. A study published by the American Meteorological Society in 2021 noted that the area's mountains produce sharp variance in clouds and rainfall, which are key to abundant rainbow satellites. Air pollution, pollen, and a large amount of cresting waves also help to put Hawaii at the top of the list when it comes to rainbow quantity and quality. There are fossilized plants in Greenland under 1.4 kilometers of ice. Around 80% of Greenland is covered by the Greenland ice sheet, which Britannica explains is the largest and possibly the only relic of the Pleistocene glaciations in the northern hemisphere. But has it always been so icy? Well, at the bottom of a 1.4-kilometer core sample, which was taken in 1996 at Camp Century during the Cold War, researchers found well preserved fossil plants and biomolecules, which means that the massive sheet melted and reformed at least once in the last million years. Whale songs can be used to map out the ocean floor. Fin whales are basically the Barry White of the ocean. The deep bellowing songs that make use to attract mates are considered to be the loudest of all marine life and can be heard up to 1,000 kilometers, 600 miles away, according to Scientific American. They can also be used to sonically map out the ocean floor, thanks to the fact that the sound can reach depth of 2.5 kilometers or 1.6 miles under the water, which bounces back and provides researchers with accurate measurements. Beyond that, A 2021 study on science showed how using a fin whale song can be far more useful and have less of a negative impact on sea life than using a large air gun, which is the typical tool researchers rely on. New creatures have been found in deep sea volcanoes. Finding previously undiscovered organisms in the depth of the ocean may sound like something straight out of a science fiction horror film, but a 2020 study of a deep sea volcano near New Zealand, published in Proceedings of the National Academy of Sciences of the United States of America, uncovered over 90 putative bacterial and archaeal genomic families and nearly 300 previously unknown genera. Some research has linked hydrothermal vents like deep sea volcanoes to the origin of life. So, we are looking at early signs of future land dwellers. Dentistry is the oldest profession in the world. Dentistry goes all way back to when humans first had teeth. Well, not quite that long. However, one study found evidence of teeth being drilled in skulls that dates from 7,500 to 9,000 years ago. The holes were likely made using a prehistoric bow drill. Could that be work of the first dentist? Other biting research conducted by the University of Bologna, Italy, on a 14,000-year-old skull found that one rotten tooth in the jaw had been deliberately scored and scraped with a tool, according to the BBC. That makes dentistry one of the oldest recorded professions and is definitely a reason to smile. North Korea and Cuba are the only places you can't buy Coca Cola. No matter where you go, it's comforting to know you can always enjoy a Coca Cola well, almost anywhere. While this fizzy drink is sold practically everywhere, it hasn't it still hasn't made its way to North Korea or Cuba according to the BBC. That's because these countries are under long-term US trade embargoes. However, some folks say you might be able to snag a snip of the stuff if you try hard enough. Although it will it will be typically be a lot more expensive than what you would pay in the States and probably imported from a neighboring country such as Mexico or China. Ninth fact, the hottest chili pepper in the world is so hot it could even kill you. The weapon's grade, Dragon's Breath chili pepper, is so hot it's downright deadly. If you ate one, it could potentially cause a type of anaphylactic shock, burning your airways and closing them up. I have tried it on the tip of my tongue and it just burned and burned, said Mike Smith, the hobby grower who invented the dragon's breath, along with scientists from Nottingham University. So, why make such a impractical pepper? As it turns out, the chili was initially developed to be used in medical treatment as an anesthetic that can numb the skin. The 10th fact, the world's quietest room is located at the Microsoft's headquarters in Washington State, USA. Silence is golden, as they say, and while it may not be worthy quite as much as jewels, and gold to most people, it certainly was the primary goal for those who built the quietest room in the world, located at Microsoft headquarters in Redmond, Washington. The lab room measures a background noise of minus 20 to minus 35 dBA, which is 20 decibels. below the threshold of human hearings and breaks previous records for spaces that were deemed the planet quietest places according to the CNN. As soon as one enters the room, one immediately feels a strange and unique sensation which is hard to describe. Hundraj Gopal, a speech and hearing scientist and principal designer of the anechoic chamber at Microsoft, told CNN, most people find the absence of sound deafening, feel a sense of fullness in the ears, or some ringing. Very faint sounds became clearly audible because the ambient noise is especially low. When you turn your head, you can hear that motion. You can hear yourself breathing, and it sounds somewhat loud. Thank you and have a nice day.